Hello and welcome back to another episode of a weekly Waypoint where I'm playing Spelunky 2 again, and it was an interesting recording session. Obviously I start off a, daily adventure, daily challenge, that's the name. Spoilers, there's more than just that run, so clearly it didn't go entirely well. I have lots of stupid deaths for you today because I had the very bright idea of recording this at about 12:30 last night when I'd been awake for about 16 hours, so I was quite tired. But never fear, I do have one decent run in this video. It might be this one, who knows? I've kind of given that away, haven't I? But let's be real, that's what Spelunky 2 is so good at, having stupid deaths, predictable or not, your fault or not. Like, it's always fun to die in this game. And the more I play of it, the more I've come to appreciate the fact that it really is a fantastic sequel to Spelunky 1. And I'm just so glad it exists. It's familiar but different, and that I guess that's what all good sequels, maybe not all good sequels, but that's what some good sequels are. But anyway, let's talk about Pokemon Legends Arceus, or Arceus, because I've been trying to train myself to say Arceus, by the way. But that is the game that came out this week. The game, the only game. No, that's obviously a game I bought this week because it's a Pokemon game and I'm very much a Poke fan. That sounds a bit weird. And I think what I want to stress most about this game is when they announced it, I had very mixed reactions. I probably spoke about it here on the Weekly Waypoint, because obviously they announced it alongside Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I was hoping for more traditional remakes, in the vein of Omega, Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, or better still, Soul Silver, which was one of my favourite Pokemon games and remains one of my favourite Pokemon games ever made. Also Fire Red and Leaf Green, duh. And in case you're thinking, well yeah, you got the traditional remakes in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Not really, because remakes traditionally have added something modern to the game, whereas Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are just two very, very safe remakes that don't add or change anything at all apart from the graphics. And I'm still a bit torn on the graphical style of those games, to be honest. That being said, I did obviously pick up Brilliant Diamond, and although I've only got to the third gym, I am going to pick that up again soon, maybe after I finish Arceus. I actually did really grow to appreciate what that game is, but still, part of me does still wish it was more of a traditional remake. In lieu of a traditional remake, they gave us Pokemon Legends Arceus, which I'm being very vague about right now, but if you've been following me on Twitter, you will know. I'll just come out and say it. I fucking love. It's amazing, but I had so many reservations about it when it was first announced. It reminded me of Monster Hunter, was my biggest concern. The way the game was structured, at least, because I'm not, and like, this might change in the future, I haven't really given it a fair shake, but I'm not really a fan of Monster Hunter games. I did try the one on 3DS, but the control scheme was alienating, to say the least. I did try Monster Hunter World on PC, and I think I could have gotten into that, but my PC couldn't run it very well, so that was very... playing it at 15 frames a second on very low graphics settings was not the best way to appreciate that game. And then I was going to try Monster Hunter World again on Game Pass, but it left, sadly. I would be interested to try Monster Hunter Rise. That looks more my speed, to be honest. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting off track here. I wasn't sure how to feel about this new style of Pokemon game where it reminded me of Monster Hunter World. It had survival elements to it, all that kind of thing. But luckily, as I've already alluded to, I really, really, really enjoy it. Now, I think it does... Oh, and by the way, yeah, I got second place, but that's because, as you're about to see, it was at 12:30, so hardly anyone had played yet. 8 people had played. Sorry, now I think it does the fantasy of being in a Pokemon world and catching Pokemon and using them to fight and everything. I think it fulfills that fantasy better than the traditional mainline games. So better than Sword and Shield, better than Sun and Moon, better than all of them. Like... It's such a fantastic Pokemon game. I cannot stress enough how much I want them to keep with this formula. Still make the original games, if you like. I'll probably still be buying and playing those as well. But, like, this is the future. Pokemon Legends Arceus is absolutely, definitively the future of Pokemon, and I hope Game Freak can recognise that. Obviously, the graphics need work. People keep joking about it looks like a PS2 game. I'm not sure they quite remember how PS2 games used to look, but I get it. It definitely looks like a PS3 game. Like, okay. like an early PS3 game. Let's remember Skyrim did come out on PS3, but it didn't look great on PS3. But I think Oblivion came out on PS3 too. It's more Oblivion than it is Skyrim in terms of visuals. And even then Oblivion does it better because it's not compromising on what it's trying to be. You know? That being said, even then, I think Pokemon Legends Arceus does have moments where you do stop and go, oh, that's pretty. Like, you get to just the right spot where there's no, like, unloaded textures off in the distance. There's no, like, 10 frames a second Pokemon flapping away in the distance, which was something we were worried about when we first saw the trailer, and does happen, but luckily it's quite rare. And, you know, there are times when the lighting kind of carries the game, but those are few and far between. The game doesn't look great. That being said, the Pokemon do look great, and their animations specifically, that is a criticism Game Freak took very seriously, it seems, from Sword and Shield, that the animations weren't great. I'm a very easy to please person. Not saying I can't view games with a critical eye, but I was like, yeah, the animations in Sword and Shield are fine, they don't really bother me. But now that I've seen what they could have been in Pokemon Legends Arceus, I'm like, okay, I get it now. I was in a fight where my what's the evolution of Cyndaquil? The middle evolution? I always forget the middle evolution names. Quilava, yeah. I've actually got the clip on my channel already if you want to go and watch the Pokemon Legends Arceus video. That's already gone up. But there's a moment where Quilava uses Flame Wheel against Pikachu, and then Pikachu uses, I think, Thundershock, and I was just like, holy shit, those two moves looked incredible. So yeah, they definitely went all out on the animations, which is good to see. I feel like if in a sequel you keep that and then you bump up the graphics, I think, and maybe we could use some newer Pokemon. This feels a little bit like a concept piece because of how many old Pokemon are in it, although this is also meant to be kind of I hesitate to say remake, but a spiritual remake. So yeah, as much as I love Pokemon Legends Arceus, as much as it's one of my favourite Pokemon games of all time, I should mention I'm about 4/5 of the way through it right now as well. So these opinions are subject to improval or, I guess, getting worse, but I doubt I'll have anything worse to feel about this game. It's not like it's got a grand important story that could end terribly and ruin the experience. The story isn't, it's there, but it isn't like a centerpiece. But yeah, Pokemon Legends 2, I mean, you can make it another remake if you like. I'm sure people would be thrilled to have Pokemon Legends in a Unova region, or Pokemon Legends where we're seeing the ancient Pokemon War in X and Y. But I think if you really, really wanted to go all out, make it in a brand new region. Obviously stress that it's like a mainline Pokemon game, because some people don't seem to have gotten that with Arceus. It is a mainline Pokemon game apparently. Make Gen 9 in an Arceus kind of game is what I'm saying basically. I'm not sure if they're going to do that. I've heard rumours that Gen 9 is almost ready to announce, which I have strong doubts about, given the fact that Game Freak just made this game. And well, to be fair, they outsourced Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, didn't they? But I don't know, I feel like it's way too soon for them to announce Gen 9. But if Gen 9 were a Pokemon Legends game, I think that could be one of the greatest games of all time, if they did it right. If they did what I said about improving the graphics and making it mostly newer Pokemon and stuff. But yeah, as I just said, I'm about 4/5 of the way through the game. I'm probably going to finish it today. I'm probably going to knuckle down and finish it. I'm not like rushing through it either. I've seen some people say that it's a grind because you have to reach a certain rank of, you know, Galaxy Expedition team member before you can advance to the next zone. But I've just naturally been catching and documenting a lot of Pokemon anyway, so that's not really been a problem for me until this final zone, and I'm only like a quarter of a level or star rank or whatever away from actually getting to the final zone anyway. I think it's just, it depends on how you like to play the game. If you like to... Sorry, I just got distracted by the fact that one of my cavemen just very barely escaped death there. If you like to capture them all, if you like to try and fill out your Pokedex as much as possible, if you're that kind of player, then I feel like the pacing of this game isn't going to be a problem for you. I feel like the people who think this game is grindy are more the people who are trying to just focus on the main story and nothing else. But given how much the main story of this game emphasizes the whole quote-unquote grindy aspect of it, of catching loads of Pokemon and stuff like that, then I feel like this shouldn't be much of a problem. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on Pokemon Legends Arceus right now. Very, very, very much enjoying it, thrilled to bits with it. It's exceeded all of my expectations, and I'm very happy. Now, I'm glad this game came along when it did, because I've been experiencing... do you ever get like really into a story, and then it ends... I guess I'm specifically talking about a game as well. It doesn't have to be like a story-based game, but you get really into a game and then you finish it. Then you're at a little bit of a loss at what to do because your habit every day has been firing up that game and playing it, and now it's kind of over, and even if you've still got stuff to do in it, it's not quite the same. And like, you just get a little bit restless. You boot up lots of different games and you keep like closing them again because it's not really what you want to play. I'm experiencing that right now about Final Fantasy XIV. Like, don't get me wrong, there's still tons to do in that game, and there's still tons I'm going to do at some point. Like, I still need to unlock the new raid. It's a bit more of a grind than I would like it to be, but maybe that's just because I've been used to the main story quest, which has just been a very fast paced do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, and now I'm at the end game and it's very much more of an MMO of, okay, grind dungeons until you get the right amount of gear. And to be clear as well, it's not a huge amount of dungeons you need to do really to get the amount of tombstones of aphorism that you need to buy the right item level gear to start the raid. Mostly my problem is that you only get rewards from doing a duty roulette once a day, and given that your alt and your main is all on one character, the rewards change based on max level, so that if I'm max level and I'm trying to get enough gear, I need to choose between doing that on my main and getting gear tokens basically, or gear currency, or doing it on my alt job and getting XP for that job, which is a very important chunk of XP for that character that day. So for instance, I look at the duty roulette and my choices are either level Reaper today or grind tombstones today, and that's not a great feeling, to be honest. I very much want to work on, and this is probably just a case of me being impatient and wanting to do too many things at the same time, but I very much want to work on getting my alternate jobs up to higher levels at the same time as working on gearing my character up, not one or the other. I'm probably just getting greedy at this point because of the amount of systems Final Fantasy XIV has spoiled me with, but in terms of like being better than other MMOs. But I feel like this is very specifically a problem I wouldn't have in other MMOs. But yeah, as I was saying, there's obviously a ton of stuff I still want to do in Final Fantasy XIV, and I'll be back to do it, but I think, I'm still not 100% sure on this, but I think I'm going to be taking a break from the game for now, which is a little bit crazy considering how much I've been tunnel visioning it for the last 2 months. It feels like my entire life at this point. Okay, that's a bit of an exaggeration, not my entire life, but it feels like a very major aspect of my life at this moment. So the idea of taking a break is a little bit like, whoa, okay, that's a bit extreme, even though it's really not, it's just a video game. But yeah, because of this, I've been, and I haven't been like saying I can't play it because I'm taking a break from it. I have still been dipping in, but it hasn't been doing it for me the way these other games haven't. So because of this, I've been having a little bit of trouble. And if you missed it there, the shopkeeper killed me because of what happened earlier in that run, which wasn't my fault at all, by the way. But yeah, because of this, I've been having a little bit of a trouble sticking to a game. Like, I've booted up Elder Scrolls Online multiple times. I had just made a new character, a warden, a warden. Do people say it that way? A magicka warden. They type it that way for sure. I've just recently decided I'm going to be taking a new character through each portion of DLC instead of just doing it all on one character, because it really takes something away from the game when you can just kill every enemy, including bosses, in a few seconds flat. That's something I learned from playing through Blackwood and Deadlands on my main. So yeah, my plan was to take this warden, whose name is... I've forgotten. You'll see it in an upcoming video. He's a wood elf. Artex something. I'm going to take him through Vardenfell. He's going to be my Vardenfell hero, and then I'm going to take Seren Sunfire, my Breton Templar mage, through the next one, Somerset. Not Clockwork City. I'm going to skip Clockwork City for now. It's because I know the stories, so I'm not like desperate to do them. I'll figure out a character to do Clockwork on another time. But yeah, I'm going to have one character for each DLC basically, and they're going to like 100% that DLC. So I get the Xbox achievements. My main reason I didn't want to do this was because I didn't want like Brakosh to meet an NPC who I've already met on another character and the character not recognize him. But honestly, that feels like a very small issue for the price I'm paying in terms of enjoyment for making myself do everything on one character. So yeah, that's what I'm doing in ESO. But like I said, it's not really been keeping me, if you know what I mean. I keep like doing one quest and then going, I don't really want to play this. I also recently bought the Lego Marvel bundle in the Lunar sale on Xbox, and I'm slowly playing through Lego Marvel's Avengers, but again, I'm like, I play like one level, I'm like, I don't know, like, no game's really keeping me apart from Pokemon Legends Arceus, of course. And like I said, this usually happens when I'm finished with a new obsession, so I think I'm probably going to try playing World of Warcraft when I get paid this week for a sub, because I don't want to pay for 3 subs in one payment month. That's just too much. Although I did pay half price for ESO because of Microsoft reward points, but that's not important. I might get back into WoW, like I said. I hesitate to get back into the 9.1 content because it kind of wasn't doing a whole lot for me. I might step a foot in it and try it out, but I think what I'm really going to be doing is leveling alts, which is my favourite thing to do in WoW. There's my dumbest death of a video, by the way. I want to make some sort of video series focused on a character's journeys through a particular expansion, which is like I've already kind of started doing that in a live stream series, but I'm not really big into live streaming right now, so I might start over on the Alliance side and do that, and kind of like make it the typical reaction series I normally do, but try to make sure I clip important points in the story so that it feels like an actual cohesive narrative and not just something that you can only watch if you've never played the game. If you've already played the game, sorry, the exact opposite of what I just said. But there's every chance that I'm going to pop into World of Warcraft and it's not going to be doing it for me. And real quick, before we stop talking about World of Warcraft, they're going to be announcing some stuff about future game updates soon. Everyone's expecting 9.2, but we're also hoping to hear about the next expansion, which we're overdue to hear about, so maybe that'll come out around the same time as this video. It's kind of why I'm doing it on a Monday this week. I learned last week about, you know, the news cycle and hitting things a week late because of how I do these videos. But yeah, my last idea, which I'm hesitant to do because of disk space alone, is I might dip my toe into Guild Wars 2 at some point, because it's pretty much the only main, I would say, one of the most biggest appreciated MMOs out there that I have yet to play. I have, if you want to throw Black Desert Online in there, I have tried Black Desert Online, but it's the only MMO I've ever been like, I'm refunding this because I absolutely cannot stand it. I can't put my finger on why, but I played it with Reese a couple years back, and I think he was enjoying it, but I just, that game was just so anti-Christian fundamentally. Not in that sounds religious, my name's Christian if you don't know. Not in any like story way or anything like that. It didn't offend me or anything stupid like that. It was just like the gameplay just seemed so unintuitive to me in the tutorial. It was just like an alien language. But yeah, Guild Wars 2. I'm thinking about giving Guild Wars 2 a try so I can truly say I've played every major MMO on the market, because I'm pretty sure that's the only one left that I've not really played. This death was really dumb. I'm putting that one down to tiredness. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any suggestions of MMOs I should try, put them down in the comments and I'll tell you why I've already tried them. And I will see you in the next video. Speaking of which, I've got fucking weeks of videos scheduled, so look forward to them.